My name's Michelle Harvey and I've been working as a life celebrant for a few years now, mainly in the funeral industry. In my role as a celebrant, I often come into contact with families from all different cultures, religions and beliefs. And all too often I'll go in to visit a family, when they've lost a loved one, go to their home. And certain questions you have to ask, and not always are those answers readily available or known. And it got me thinking that perhaps maybe there was a way that we could find a solution to this. And I came up with Remember Me, which is a small booklet which you can buy from me, and it's easy to fill in and write things down. And this can be done before our end of life, and then just stored with whoever is responsible for your end of life wishes. Buy the booklet and just fill it in your own time. You can, fill it in on an ad hoc basis if you want to, or you can sort of write it all down and store it ready with somebody for when the time comes. It's all about making those things known that are important to you. You maybe don't want people to wear black at your funeral. Perhaps you want everyone wearing bright orange or florals. Maybe you would like some religious content or a particular reading, poem or hymn that has some meaning to you. So it's really just about documenting those things. It's very, very easy to navigate. Once it's completed, and either store it away or you can give it back to me, and I will write your eulogy to date. And then that's handed back to you in a keepsake folder, and then we can add to it. Obviously, if there are big milestone events that happen during your life, you just give me a call back. It's not included in a funeral plan. That's a completely different thing. A funeral plan is more if you would like to be buried or cremated. Perhaps you want a woodland or an eco-themed funeral. What Remember Me is more a funeral service plan, and the difference is everything that happens within the service, whether that's in a chapel, a church or outside in the open. So the music, the hymns, what people say about you, who you want to speak on your behalf, all of those things are documented in Remember Me. So it's a funeral service plan. You can email me with your contact details, and that's michelleharvey.lifecelebrant@yahoo.com. Send me an email and then I'll give you the payment details and pop it in the post to you. My final thought, probably best to give you two examples of how Remember Me would work. I was first contacted when I first brought it out by a gentleman. He was 76. He had been married before and had two grown-up daughters. And then about 12 years ago he remarried and he had another daughter. And he said that although he was fit and healthy, his end of life wishes were starting to enter his head, and he was thinking about who would be responsible for taking control of that. So he said if he could find a way of doing it that it took the burden off of his family, Remember Me was the perfect thing. So over a couple of times I visited him, we put it all together, we wrote his eulogy. He wanted quite a bit of humour put in as well. So it was really about creating a very bespoke and unique service for him, and it took the stress off of him, and he knew that his families wouldn't war over it come the time. Another example was a lovely gentleman contacted me. He was in palliative care. He knew that he had about 6 weeks to live, and he really wanted to have a lot of control in his funeral service. Perhaps that might have been because he worked in the television industry as a sound engineer, so he really wanted that to be reflected in his funeral service. I went down with his wife to visit him in the hospice, and the three of us, we created a really beautiful, fitting service for him. It was absolutely amazing, and it really did have his stamp on it with sound bites as well. So it was great. So that's two ways in which it can work.